Hi, shalom, 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 family, and welcome once again to Just a Word. Another week, another teaching, and today we are going to go straight into it. More of the end times, more of mysteries, more of what to expect in the end, more of what not many people will tell you about. And today we are going to be looking at the priesthood of Ephraim. The subtitle is the what is it? The higher Torah on which Zion will be built. And this is Kazakh Eliyahu, and I'm here with priesthood of Ephraim. And I do understand that people might be confused and say, but there's only one priesthood. It's the priesthood of the Levites. Where is this priesthood of Ephraim coming from? So we're going to show where it is, what its place is, and show you definitively that this priesthood will play its part in the end time. Now, to get this understanding, we first have to look on the concept of the firstborn. Go to Genesis 27, verse 32. The concept of the firstborn, and this is one of these teachings you pay close attention. All right, because this will give us a whole lot of a knowledge and understanding of how certain things that we may not understand. We might just see them but not understand them. This will give us more insights. Genesis 27:32.
And Ishak his father said unto him, Who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly, and said, Who? Where is he that hath taken venison, and brought it to me? And
No. We only want 32.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
Sorry about that. So we only want 32. Because we just want to establish what is happening here. Oh. What is happening? Oh. Yes. We just want to establish the principle of the firstborn. Now, the firstborn is the Hebrew word bekor, which comes from H1069, firstborn, hence chief, eldest son, firstborn, firstling. So it is telling you that the firstborn is the eldest son. But as we see here, anyone who knows the story, that Esau was Jacob receives the blessing of the firstborn, and Esau was no longer considered the firstborn of Isaac. So the firstborn is usually the chief. The natural firstborn is usually the chief, but not always. Not always. There are times when it might be flipped, when the Most High will flip it around, and even a younger child will become the firstborn, but usually it is the eldest child. Now, the Most High believes in redeeming the firstborn, redemption of the firstborn. Now, the firstborn is very precious to the Most High. Before I talk about redemption, the firstborn is very precious to the Most High, and he believes in redeeming the firstborn. Let's go to the redemption of the firstborn, Exodus 13:15. Oh, I should have told you before. Exodus 13:15.
And it came to pass, when Pharaoh would hardly let us go, that I slew all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both the firstborn of man and the firstborn of beast. Therefore I sacrifice to all that openeth the matrix, being males, but all the firstborn of my children I redeem.
So all of the firstborn of Yasharal is to be redeemed, not by killing them, let me go to the meaning of redeem. Redeem is the Hebrew word pada, a primitive root to sever, that is ransom, generally to release or to preserve at all, deliver, by any means ransom, that are to be, let be, redeemed, rescue, surely. When the Most High says he's redeeming Yasharal, it means that Yasharal now becomes his property. He owns them. So when the Levites, we're going to show the Levites being redeemed for the children of Yasharal, they are now the property of the Most High. And they do not even get inheritance with the rest of the tribes. The word says, I am who I am is their inheritance. So what we are going to do, we are going to connect the firstborn. We're going to connect the firstborn with the priesthood. Priesthood. Because we're going to show you that the priesthood comes through the firstborn. The priesthood always comes through the firstborn. So the meaning of priesthood, Exodus 40 verse 15.
And thou shalt anoint them, as thou didst anoint their father, that they may minister unto me in the priest's office. For their anointing shall surely be an everlasting priesthood throughout their generations.
So we have, they shall minister to me in the priest's office. For their anointing shall surely be an everlasting priesthood. So the meaning of priesthood is the office or position of a priest. But the meaning of priest there is both of these words. The meaning of priest, H3550. H3550 is priesthood. But H3547, the meaning of priest itself, it's apparently meaning to mediate in religious services. So the priest is a mediator between the people and the Most High. But usually only as denominative from H3548 to officiate as a priest. Figuratively, to put on regalia, deck, B, do the office of a priest, execute the priest's office, minister in the priest's office. So a priest is a mediator between man and the Most High in religious services. Okay? So there are other priesthoods in the Bible. I remember the priest, Jethro, the priest of Midian, was he who instructed Moses. And when Moses was there, stressing out himself with all the people, he alone, Jethro gave Moses the advice, and he was the priest of Midian. He was not the priest of the Most High. We also have the Melchizedek priesthood. Sorry, I didn't get the Bible up. Yeah, we also had the Melchizedek priesthood in the Bible. That is Hebrews 7:11-17.
If therefore...
Hold on, I need to get it on the screen. Hebrews 7. Go ahead.
If therefore perfection were by the Levitical priesthood, for under it the people received the law, what further need was there that another priest should arise after the order of Melchizedek, and not to be called after the order of Aaron.
So it's saying that the perfection is not through the Levitical priesthood. Perfection is through the order of Melchizedek, which will be officiated by the great high priest, who is Yahusha, Hamashiach, son of I am who I am. Verse 12.
For the priesthood being changed, there is made of necessity a change also of the law. For he of whom these things are spoken pertaineth to another tribe, of which no man gave attendance at the altar.
All right, go ahead.
For it is evident that our master sprang out of Judah, of which tribe Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood. And it is yet far more evident, for that after the similitude of Melchizedek there ariseth another priest, who is made not after the law of a carnal commandment, but after the power of an endless life. For he testifieth, Thou art a priest forever, after the order of Melchizedek.
All right, so this is a priest that is not of the Melchizedek priesthood, who is Yahusha, Hamashiach. All right, so evidence there of another priesthood that is not the Levitical priesthood. Now, what's happening here? The supreme priesthood of Yahusha in the heavens. Let me see, I think I have some titles here that are mixed up.
The audio is great on everything except for YouTube. It's echoing.
It's echoing.
Not echoing, but it sounds like it's in a tunnel. Just on YouTube.
Oh,
It's not like that on Zoom or the radio.
I wonder why. I don't know. All right, Hebrews 4, the supreme priesthood of Yahusha in the heavens, Hebrews 4:14.
Sing then.
Hold on. Hebrews 4:14, just one verse there.
Seeing then that we have a great high priest that is passed into the heavens, Yahusha the son of I am, let us hold fast our profession.
All right, so we have a great high priest that is passed into the heavens. This is the supreme priesthood, not one on earth, because you know the heavens is superior to the earth. Hebrews 8, 1 to 13. Hebrews 8. Go ahead.
Now, of the things which were spoken, this is the sum. We have such an high priest, who is set on the right hand of the throne of the majesty in the heavens, a minister of the sanctuary, and of the true tabernacle, which I am pitched, and not man. For every high priest is ordained to offer gifts and sacrifices. Wherefore it is of necessity that this man have somewhat also to offer. For if he were on earth, he should not be a priest, seeing that there are priests that offer gifts according to the law, who serve unto the example and shadow of heavenly things, as Moses was admonished of I am, when he was about to make the tabernacle. For see, saith he, that thou make all things according to the pattern showed to thee in the mount. But now hath he obtained a more excellent ministry, by how much also he is the mediator of a better covenant, which was established upon better promises.
So this is a New Testament covenant in Yahusha. He is in the heavens. His priesthood is in the heavens. The great high priest. It's a more excellent ministry than the Levitical priesthood of the law covenant. Verse 7.
For if that first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second. For finding fault with them, he saith, Behold, the days come, saith I am, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Yasharal, and with the house of Yehuda.
All right, so that old covenant was not faultless. That is why there is a need for another covenant. So we're going to show the Ephraimic priesthood how it is even at a higher Torah than the Levitical priesthood, which is to bring earth to heaven, to bring earth into unison with heaven. It is a bridge between earth and heaven, between the kingdom on the earth and the kingdom in the heavens. Continue.
Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers, in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith I am. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Yasharal after those days, saith I am. I will put my law in their mind and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them, I am, and they shall be to me a people.
All right. So the thing with the law covenant was that the law was not written in their hearts and in their minds, because they did not receive the gift of Ruach HaKadosh as we have received in the New Testament. So the Most High is saying it's a new thing that He is doing. And this will be superior to the Levitical priesthood. Now we must understand that when we say superior to the Levitical priesthood, it does not mean we are going to throw away what the law says and now live carefree and careless. On the contrary, when we live a higher Torah than what the Levitical priesthood brings, we will live a higher level of righteousness. We will live the level of righteousness according to Hamashiach. When he came, the Pharisees had a very hard time with him because the way he lived was way or far above what they thought he should live. And they spent their entire time trying to correct him, to bring him down to their level, to where they are satisfied and where they have control. But with Hamashiach, it is above the control of man and his religion. Verse 11.
And they shall not teach every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, Know I am, for all shall know me from the least to the greatest. For I will be merciful to their unrighteousness, and their sins and their iniquities will I remember no more. In that he saith, A new covenant, he hath made the first old. Now that which decayeth and waxeth old is ready to vanish away.
Ready to vanish away. So we're going to see and show the place that the Ephraimic priesthood is going to play in this transition between the old covenant and the new covenant. Where was I going? Okay. So the priesthood of Levi, we're speaking about firstborn again. The priesthood of Levi represents the firstborn from among the whole nation. The big difference between Ephraim and Levi is the firstborn among. So Levi represents the firstborn from among the whole nation. For that, let's go to Numbers 3:11-12 to get that understanding.
And I am spake unto Moses, saying, And I, behold, I have taken the Levites from among the children of Yasharal, instead of all the firstborn that openeth the matrix among the children of Yasharal. Therefore the Levites shall be mine.
So the Most High has claimed or redeemed Levi for all the firstborn that openeth the matrix. That means the firstborn that comes out of the womb of their mothers. the Levites were taken for them. Verse 13.
Because all the firstborn are mine. For on the day that I smote all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, I hallowed unto me all the firstborn in Yasharal, both man and beast. Mine shall they be. I am who I am.
I am who I am. So the firstborn of every single family in Yasharal, that is who the Levites are redeemed for. But Ephraim is also a firstborn. Among the children of Yasharal, Ephraim is the firstborn tribe from among the 12 tribes. And it is not that Ephraim was born first, it is because of the Most High's election. Apostle Shaul loves to talk about the elect and the election of the Most High. Ephraim is the firstborn because of election. First, because of Joseph, and then the Most High chose him out of Joseph because Ephraim was not the first son. Let's look at it. Genesis 48:5, and then we're going to go to 11. Let me get it. I'll tell you. Genesis 48:5.
And now thy two sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, which were born unto thee in the land of Egypt, before I came unto thee into Egypt, are mine. As Reuben and Simeon, they shall be mine.
So this is Jacob, or Yasharal, declaring that Ephraim and Manasseh are his. Go down to verse 11.
And Yasharal said unto Joseph, I had not thoughts to see thy face, and lo, I am has showed me also thy seed.
Go to verse 14 to 22.
And Yasharal stretched out his right hand, and laid it upon Ephraim's head, who was the younger, and his left hand upon Manasseh's head, guiding his hands wittingly, for Manasseh was the firstborn. And he baraked Joseph, and said, I am, before whom my fathers Abraham and Ishak did walk, the I am which fed me all my life long unto this day, the angel which redeemed me from all evil. Barak the lads, and let my name be named on them, and the name of my fathers Abraham and Ishak, and let them grow into a multitude in the midst of the earth.
So before this he said, as Reuben and Simeon. Reuben is the firstborn, Simeon the secondborn. And he says, let my name be named on them. That is why they became tribes of Yasharal. More into it, verse 17.
And when Joseph saw this, and saw that his father laid his right hand upon the head of Ephraim, it displeased him. And he held up his father's hand to remove it from Ephraim's head unto Manasseh's head. And Joseph said unto his father, Not so, my father, for this is the firstborn. But thy right hand, put thy right hand upon his head. And his father refused and said, I know it, my son, I know it. He also shall become a people, and he also shall be great. But truly his younger brother shall be greater than he, and his seed shall become a multitude of nations.
All right. His seed shall become a multitude of nations. And the younger brother is Ephraim. Continue to 22.
And he baraked them that day, saying, In thee shall Yasharal barak, saying, I am make thee as Ephraim and as Manasseh. And he set Ephraim before Manasseh. And Yasharal said unto Joseph, Behold, I die, but I am shall be with you, and bring you again unto the land of your fathers. Moreover, I have given to thee one portion above thy brethren, which I took out of the hand of the Amorites, with my sword and with my bow.
So these two, instead of Joseph having one tribe of the 12 tribes, they now have two, a double portion. Now in Jeremiah 31:9, the Most High declared, he declared Ephraim as his first born. Where is it? 31, what did I say?
31:9.
Was that right?
Yes.
31:9. Yes, go ahead.
They shall come with weeping and with
Hold
supplication.
on. Verse 8.
Behold, I will bring them from the north country, and gather them from the coasts of the earth, and with them the blind and the lame, the woman with child, and her that travaileth with child together. A great company shall return thither.
Prophecies like these are declaring that Ephraim will be heavily involved in the end time gathering of the nation of Yasharal. Go to verse 9.
They shall come with weeping, and with supplications will I lead them. I will cause them to walk by the rivers of waters in a straight way, wherein they shall not stumble. For I am a father to Yasharal, and Ephraim is my firstborn.
And
Ephraim is
my firstborn. So there we go, we have the firstborn. So as we said, the firstborn, priesthood can run through the firstborn. Yahusha HaMashiach, firstborn. Yahusha HaMashiach described as the firstborn of all creature, firstborn of all creation, the firstborn among his brethren. So Yahusha HaMashiach is, as the priesthood, Melchizedek priesthood, the great high priest. So, no less, we're going to show you Ephraim later on. Now, one hallmark of priesthood is that, so Ephraim is his firstborn tribe from among the 12 tribes. Levites represent the firstborn of every single Israelite birth, but Ephraim, firstborn tribe. So one thing that is a hallmark of the priesthood is zeal. Without zeal, there can be no priesthood. Now, if you look in the Bible, when you hear about zeal, it's almost always the Levites that you see being extra zealous unto death for the Most High. So let's look at the zeal of the patriarchs. Testament of Patriarchs, let me get it on the screen. Testament of the Patriarchs, what do I have there? 30, verse 4. Levi and the priesthood, zeal of the patriarch. Is it Testament of Naphtali? I think so. 30, verse 4. Let me see it.
30?
Huh?
30 out of 90?
Huh?
Is it 30 out of 90?
Oh, let me try. I put it in there and I don't know.
Okay.
No. No, I think it's a testimony of Naphtali. Naphtali 30. Yeah, 30. How did I get 39?
39.
I don't know which testament I did. Oh. It is Levi.
Levi, okay.
It's Levi, 30 verse 4.
Levi, 30. I don't understand.
You see it?
Which one is it out of 90?
I don't know if it's probably 30 out of 90.
That's Judah, though.
Oh.
What does it start with? What does it say?
Let me see where it is. Page 64.
Page
64. That's what I missed out.
Okay, page 64. Okay. Page 64, verse?
Yeah. It starts with, and Simeon and Levi came unexpectedly. 64?
Mm,
It's not there.
no, that's the testament of God.
I don't know what's happening here.
Simeon and Levi came. Let me see.
All right, let me see. Let me see if I can get it. And Simeon and Levi.
Levi.
No, this isn't. This is. I don't know why this is taking so much. I can't seem to find it.
Oh, I don't see anything here, Elden.
Ah, unexpectedly to Shechem. Let me try that again. No, it's different. All right, I'll have to skip that out.
Simeon and Levi.
All right. So that one, I don't know how I missed that one. All right, so let's look at the zeal of Yahusha and the zeal of Moses. Psalm 69, verse 9.
Psalm 69.
Psalm 69, verse 9. Sorry about that, family.
For the zeal of thine house hath eaten me up, and the reproaches of them that reproach thee are fallen upon me.
The zeal of thine house hath eaten me up. So this is a very, very important ingredient for serving the Most High. It's the zeal of the Most High. John 2:17. Yahusha did the same thing. And John 2:17 says,
And his disciples remembered that it was written, The zeal of thine house hath eaten me up.
all right. It said the echo, there's an echo on the mic. I don't know. What shall I do? All right, Numbers 25:3. Numbers 25:3. Michael, you checking for me if there's an echo still.
There is a slight echo. It's on YouTube, and it disappeared slightly when you pulled up Test of the Patriarchs, and then it came back when you took it down.
Oh. Oh, I think I've mm, up. All right, I figured it out. That should be gone by this.
And there is a Simeon and Levi on page 4 of the Testament of the Patriarchs.
Page 4.
Yeah.
That's the introduction, brother.
That's the introduction.
Yeah, it's in the introduction. That's the only place it shows up.
All right, Numbers 25:3-5. The zeal of Moses.
And Yasharal joined himself unto Baal-Pur, and the anger of I Am was kindled against Yasharal. And I Am said unto Moshe, Take all the heads of the people, and hang them up before I Am against the sun, that the fierce anger of I Am may be turned away from Yasharal. And Moses said unto the judges of Yasharal, Slay ye every one his men that were joined unto Baal-Pur.
All right, so this is the thing about Moses now. When the nation went into idolatry, the Most High said to Moses, Take all the heads of the people and hang them up before I am against the sun, so that my fierce anger may be turned away. And Moses just went and told the judges what they should do. slay ye everyone his men that were joined unto Baal Peor. That is the zeal of the Most High, when the Levites have to do that which is painful, what people would seem impossible, and people would look on them and say, what a wicked man, why is he doing this? Why is he so heartless? It is the anger, zeal for the ways of the Most High. Now, Ezra was also a Levite. And let's see Ezra's zeal. Ezra 9, verses 1 to 3.
Now when these
Hold on, please. Yeah, I'm not as fast as you. Ezra 9, 1 to 3. Yeah, go ahead.
Now when these things were done, the princes came to me, saying, The people of Yasharal, and the priests and the Levites, have not separated themselves from the people of the lands, doing according to their abominations, even of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Jebusites, the Ammonites, the Moabites, the Egyptians, and the Amorites. For they have taken of their daughters for themselves and for their sons, so that the holy seed have mingled themselves with the people of those lands. Yea, the hand of the princes and rulers hath been chief in this trespass.
So Ezra is hearing about intermarriage with the heathen. And let's see his response. Verse 3.
And when I heard this thing, I rent my garment and my mantle, and plucked off the hair of my head, and of my beard, and sat down as down. Then were assembled unto me every one that trembled at the words of I am of Yasharal, because of the transgression of those that had been carried away. And I sat astounded until the evening sacrifice.
No, this is a thing. Look at his zeal. He tore his clothes and his mantle, plucked off the hair of his head and of his beard, and sat down astonished. And he sat down until the evening because of how he felt, because of intermarriage. And today, people want to make us believe that it is now okay to intermarry. No, everything is okay. Everything is all right. They are married before the Most High. I don't know which Most High you are serving, but the one that I'm serving says that he changeth not. Therefore, you sons of Jacob are not consumed. In other words, it's because of my mercy why you're not consumed. It is not because of my consent. It is because of my mercy, because I do not change. The thing that I hated back in the Old Testament is the same thing I hate now. And there are going to be, as a matter of fact, we are among those who are telling people and teaching people against intermarriage. You cannot go into Zion. Cannot enter Zion in a mixed marriage. You cannot enter Zion in a mixed marriage. Right? I am not Ezra, and I'm telling you this. And this has been revealed to us over and over again. Anyway, so let's look what the result of his zeal was. Ezra 10, verse 4.
Arise.
No. Verse 3, sorry.
Now therefore, let us make a covenant with our I am, to put away all the wives, and such as are born of them, according to the counsel of my master, and of those that tremble at the commandment of our I am, and let it be done according to the law. Arise, for this matter belongeth unto thee, we also will be with thee. Be of good courage and do it.
So they started to execute disannulling all of these marriages. Now, notice how they had to correct it. They had to make a covenant or an agreement with or I am to put away all the wives. Because when you get to understand about mixed marriage, if even one mixed marriage is in the nation, it said this in the book of Jubilees chapter 30. If there is even one mixed marriage in the nation, it tarnishes the entire nation. And it says there will be plagues after plagues. upon the land because of that one marriage. So if that is so, how do you expect to go into now Kodesh, whatever you want to call it, Mount Zion? Mount Zion is a place where people are going to return in perfection. And there is something that the Most High says is an abomination, and we are not willing to let it go. If you want to go to Zion, you have to do what you have to do. Phinehas and the Zeal. Let's look at Phinehas and the Zeal, which gave him his seed and everlasting priesthood. Numbers 25, verses 6 to 13. The priesthood has to do with zeal. If you're not zealous, you cannot be a part of his priesthood. And in 1 Peter 2, verse 9, we hear that we are a royal priesthood, a holy nation. Without zeal, we cannot partake of the royal priesthood. Without zeal, we cannot be any priests to him. Numbers 25, what did I say? 6.
6 to 13.
Yeah.
And behold,
Sorry.
oh,
The case in point was this. Yasharal was joining themselves onto Baal Peor, and the Most High was angry, and one of them brought a strange woman into the camp, and Phinehas did his thing, and let's see what happens. Numbers 25, 6.
and behold, one of the children of Yasharal came and brought unto his brethren a Midianitish woman in the sight of Moses, and in the sight of all the congregation of the children of Yasharal, who were weeping before the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And when Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, saw it, he rose up from among the congregation, and took a javelin in his hand. And he went after the man of Israel into the tent, and thrust both of them through, the man of Israel and the woman through her belly. So the plague was stayed from the children of Yasharal, and those that died in the plague were 24,000. And I spake unto Moses, saying, Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, hath turned my wrath away from the children of Yasharal, while he was zealous for my sake among them, that I consumed not the children of Yasharal in my jealousy. Wherefore say, Behold, I give unto him my covenant of peace, and he shall have it, and his seed after him, even the covenant of an everlasting priesthood, because he was zealous for his I am, and made an atonement for the children of Yasharal.
All right. He was zealous for his I am. So because of the zeal, Phinehas was given the everlasting priesthood. Now, not to be undone, we have the Ephraimite, Eliyahu, Elijah, who also had the zeal of I am. 1 Kings 18, 36 to 40. 1 Kings 18. There's a direct correlation between the priesthood and zeal. Go ahead, please.
And it came to pass at that time of the offering of the evening sacrifice, that Elijah the prophet came near and said, I am who I am of Abraham, Ishak, and of Israel. Let it be known this day that thou art I am in Yasharal, and that I am thy servant, and that I have done all these things at thy word. Hear me, O I am, hear me, that this people may know that thou art I am who I am, and that thou hast turned their heart back again. Then
All right. Go ahead.
Then the fire of I am fell and consumed the burnt sacrifice, and the wood, and the stones, and the dust, and licked up the water that was in the trench. And when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces, and they said, I am who I am, he is I am. The I am, he is I am. And Elijah said unto them, Take the prophets of Baal, let no one of them escape. And they took them, and Elijah brought them down to the brook Kishon, and slew them there.
All right. So this is the zeal. Take the 400 prophets of Baal and slew them. This is the zeal of Elijah. And us, even us ourselves, if we are not zealous in the end, go to Zephaniah 1 verse 12. If we are not zealous in the end, then we have no lot nor part in any kingdom whatsoever. This is what we're talking about. We're talking about self-satisfaction. All right?
And it was I read out?
Zephaniah 1 verse 12.
And it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles, and punish the men that are settled on their lease.
This sound low. Your voice.
Is it better now?
Go ahead.
Okay. And it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles, and punish the men that are settled on their lease, that say in their hearts, I am will not do good, neither will he do evil.
These are people without zeal. When they are settled on their lease, the lease speak to the you hear about leeward and windward. The windward side is the side that is windy, the leeward side is the side that is calm. So when you're settled on your lease, it's when you're settled in your comforts. He says he will punish the men that are settled on their leads, in their comfort. So the Most High does not like when we are, what should I say, the opposite of zealous, when we are slothful. When we are slothful. That say in their heart, I am will not do good, neither will he do evil. So they just go on and continue. And this is the similitude of hot and cold in Revelation 3:16. Revelation 3:16.
So then, because thou art lukewarm, and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth.
I will spew thee out of my mouth, because you are neither hot nor cold. So those who are not zealous, even Mashiach said he's going to spew them out of his mouth. Isaiah 56:10. Without zeal, we become worthless watchmen. The watchmen must have zeal. They cannot be slothful. Isaiah 56:10.
His watchmen are blind. They are all ignorant. They are all dumb dogs. They cannot bark.
Sleeping.
Lying down, loving to slumber.
You see this thing here? Watchmen are blind, all ignorant, all dumb dogs. So we're going to be blind, we're going to be ignorant, we're going to be dumb. If we love to sleep, love to slumber, which means being slothful, wasting time, not being zealous to do the work or the will of the Most High. If we are not, it's condemnation for us. We will become worthless watchmen. Verse 11.
Yea, they are greedy dogs, which can never have enough, and they are shepherds that cannot understand. They all look to their own way, every one for his gain from his quarter.
So here's the thing with zeal now. Zeal shows who we care about. Remember, Hamashiach said, if any man come after me, let him deny himself. Now, if we are slothful, if we love to sleep, love to slumber, it means that we are not zealous to do the work of the Most High. So we are only there for our own selves. And if we are there for our own selves, we are going to look for our own way and for our own gain. We are not going to be looking out for the kingdom of the Most High, to do everything for the kingdom of the Most High. So, 1 Peter 2:9 calls us a royal priesthood. A royal priesthood without zeal, we become worthless watchmen, blind, ignorant, dumb. And it says we cannot bark. We cannot bark means we will not have anything to say to the people. Yeah? Sleeping, lying down, loving to slumber. So the Most High cannot use us because we do not have the zeal. That is why Revelation 3:16 about spewing us out of his mouth, it is so important to be hot, to be zealous for the way of the Most High. All right? So the Levitical priesthood, the priesthood of a nation. Numbers 1:49. Read it, please.
Only thou shalt not number the tribe of Levi, neither take the sum of them among the children of Yasharal. But thou shalt appoint the Levites over the tabernacle of testimony, and over all the vessels thereof, and over all things that belong to it. They shall bear the tabernacle, and all the vessels thereof, and they shall minister unto it, and shall encamp round about the tabernacle.
So every ministering to do between the Most High and the people, that is for the Levites. They are in charge of the tabernacle. But there is a return of the promised Melchizedek priesthood. If we go to the book of Melchizedek, chapter 2, verse 32. Melchizedek, chapter 2, verse 32. Melchizedek was actually telling us what will happen when he's telling us that he is going to return when the Messiah returns, and he's going to return at other times. So we are going to show you, and we do believe that the Melchizedek order runs through the Levites, runs through the tribe of Levi. It is not an order, what would you call it now? It's not a whosoever will make come order, because the Gentiles take the Melchizedek thing and saying that they are priests. We did a teaching on our website several years ago called Am I a Priest? And showing that only Israelites can be priests. If only Israelites can be priests, then who will be priests after the order of Melchizedek? It has to be Israelites. Are you there?
Yes.
Read it, please.
And when the Messiah shall come, and shall be given unto death by his friends, and shall rise from death, for I am is I am, creator of all things, and shall subdue even life and death. At that time shall I too return, and again at the last day,
And at other times as sent by I am,
to bring to the earth the keys of each generation.
from generation to generation. From when?
Generation to generation.
So Melchizedek is saying that every generation he'll be here. How can he be here? And of course, those who understand the mysteries and know that the soul is placed into another being at birth at times. So Melchizedek returns when his seed is placed into another person, and then he does his things. We believe that his seed was placed into the tribe of Levi. And not only in the tribe of Levi, more specifically, the children of Zadok, because it's Melchizedek. Melchi means king, Zadok means righteousness, king of righteousness. And we believe that the children of Zadok, who are the descendants of Phinehas, carry the Melchizedek priesthood. Verse 34.
So shall I do, rewarding as ye have requited, by fulfilling the commandments of I am and
His priesthood. So his commandments, whenever the Most High sends him, he will come. Verse 35.
or punishing those that sell what is precious unto I am, to unworthy men and women with their whorings and priestcrafts.
So the true priests will be angry with people who are selling the word, who are peddling the word, who are using priestcraft, trickery in order to get people to follow them, in order to get people to pay them. So the priesthood of Melchizedek through the seed of Zadok. Ezekiel 44, 10 to 16. Ezekiel 44. It will show soon come to the priesthood of Ephraim. All right. Now what we want to say here is that the Zadokite line is the line that will be priests that will serve in the inner courts of the Most High. The other Levites will only serve in the outer courts because of what they did. Verse 10, Ezekiel 44.
And the Levites that are gone away far from me, when Yasharal went astray, which went astray away from me after their idols, they shall even bear their iniquity. Yet they shall be ministers in my sanctuary, having charge at the gates of the house, and ministering to the house. They shall slay the burnt offering and the sacrifice for the people, and they shall stand before them to minister unto them. Because they ministered unto them before their idols, and caused the house of Yasharal to fall into iniquity. Therefore I have lifted up mine hand against them, saith I am who I am, and they shall bear their iniquity.
So they shall minister before the people, but they shall not minister before the Most High. These are the other Levites. It's only one family, the children of Zadok, from the line of Phinehas, who are going to minister unto the Most High. Continue.
And they shall not come near unto me, to do the office of a priest unto me, nor to come near to any of my holy things in the most holy place. But they shall bear their shame and their abominations, which they have committed. But I will make them keepers of the charge of the house, for all the service thereof, and for all that shall be done therein.
But the Zadokites,
But the priests, the Levites, the sons of Zadok, that keep the charge of my that kept the charge of my sanctuary, when the children of Yasharal went astray from me, they shall come near to me to minister unto me, and they shall stand before me to offer unto me that fat and the blood.
all right, so you see the importance of zeal. When the rest of the children of Yashal went astray, the children of Zadok were zealous for the Most High, and they were willing to be alone, just like how Elijah was willing to be alone. Elijah felt that he was alone, as a matter of fact. And he says, they have killed everyone, and I alone am before you. The Zadokites were willing to be alone before the Most High, and so they were rewarded. Continue.
They shall enter into my sanctuary, and they shall come near to my table, to minister unto me, and they shall keep my charge.
Yep.
And it shall come to pass that when they enter in at the gates of the inner court, they shall be clothed with linen garments, and no wool shall come upon them, whilst they minister in the gates of the inner court and within.
All right, these are the Zadokites, the true priests. And that is for another teaching. We might have do a video on the Melchizedek line and the children of Zadok, hopefully. So Ephraim's role. First of all, priests are set apart from their brethren. I forgot about that one. Deuteronomy 10, verse 9.
Wherefore Levi hath no part nor inheritance with his brethren. I am
has no lot nor part with his brethren. Why is this changing? Checking. All right. Leviticus 22:10. So the priests must always be set apart. Continue Leviticus 22:10.
There shall no stranger eat of the kadosh thing. A sojourner of the priest or an hired servant shall not eat of the holy thing.
So the Most High sets apart his priests, sets apart the Levites. Now Ephraim's role, a remnant zealous for the Most High's covenant. Another look at the zeal of Ephraim through Elijah, who it is prophesied will return in the end. 1 Kings 19:13-14.
And it was so, when Elijah heard it, that he wrapped his face in his mantle, and went out, and stood in the entering in of the cave. And, behold, there came a voice unto him, and said, What doest thou here, Elijah? And he said, I have been very jealous, for I am of hosts, because the children of Yasharal have forsaken thy covenant, thrown down thine altars, and slain thy prophets with the sword. And I, even I only, am left, and they seek my life to take it away.
All right. So Elijah thought that he was the only one that was left, but the Most High went on to tell him that he has reserved 7,000 that have not bowed the knee to Baal. But here we have Elijah being jealous and zealous for the Most High's sake, willing to be there alone. Now, Elijah, it is prophesied in the book, The Order of the Ancients, and a word came this week to look into the Order of the Ancients more clearly, in more detail. And so this is why we have this teaching here today. Elijah and the Order of the Ancients, which will, in the end time, we're going to show you, be what will bring people together into Mount Zion. So this is something that we have to understand and know how or what it entails. A lot of the things that we're showing in these end times, things that people really do need to know, but there is actually no one, not many people that are teaching, or anyone at all that are teaching these things. So Ephraim is charged to prepare the way in the latter days. Ephraim preparing the way in the latter days. Isaiah 40 verses 2 to 5.
Speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem, and cry unto her, that her warfare is accomplished, that her iniquity is pardoned. For she hath received of I am's hand double for all her sins.
All right. So guess what? This is prophesied for the end times, and this happened already. Because verse 3 is in the New Testament as having happened, but it is going to happen again. Verse 3.
The voice of him that crieth in the wilderness, Prepare ye the way of Adonai, we make straight in the desert a highway for our I am.
So the one preparing the way, this was John the Baptist who did it in the New Testament, and he prepared the way for the great high priest, Yahusha, HaMashiach. Now, in the end times, again, Elijah's seed is going to come and declare the way for the Levitical end time Levitical priesthood, the re-establishment of the end time Levitical priesthood, which will not be a superior priesthood to Hamashiach, but will be restored nonetheless, because the people have to return to obedience to the Most High's laws and statutes and commandments. Continue. Every valley
Every valley shall be exalted, and every mountain and hill shall be made low, and the crooked shall be made straight, and the rough places plain.
All right, and John the Baptist. So this is preparing the way so that everything is restored in its right order. Now, John the Baptist prepared the way of the great high priest, as we said earlier. Matthew 3, 1-3.
In those days came John the Baptist, preaching in the wilderness of Judea, and saying, Repent ye, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. For this is he that was spoken of by the prophet Isaiah, saying, The voice of one crying in the wilderness, Prepare ye the way of Adonai, make his path straight.
All right, so Isaiah, this is Isaiah 40, verse 3 that we just read a while ago. John the Baptist was heralding it. But in Matthew 17, 10-13, it tells us that it was actually the Ruach of Isaiah in John the Baptist that was declaring it. Matthew 17, 10-13.
And his disciples asked him, saying, Why then say the scribes that Elijah must first come? And Yahusha answered and said unto them, Elijah truly shall first come and restore all things. But I say unto you that Elijah is come already, and they knew him not, but have done unto him whatsoever they listed. Likewise shall also the Son of Man suffer of them. Then the disciples understood that he spake unto them of John the Baptist.
So John the Baptist was the spirit of Elijah. Now notice he just said it once. Elijah is already come. And the disciples right away knew that he was speaking of John. You see, they understood the principle that people actually do come back in other people. They understood the principle. If it was we who Hamashiach was speaking to, we would be rocking our brains before we got exposed to the mystery. We'll be saying, what is he talking about? Elijah, what? You don't know Elijah. When did he come? But the disciples right away knew that it was Elijah. So the Ephraimic priesthood, preparing the way, will purify the children of Levi before the Levitical priesthood is restored, as I said earlier. Malachi 3, 1-5. Malachi 3, 1-5.
Behold, I will send my messenger, and he shall prepare the way before me. And Adonai, whom ye seek, shall suddenly come to his temple, even the messenger of the covenant, whom ye delight in. Behold, he shall come, saith I am of hosts.
All right, so the principle that we have to understand is that before the Most High does anything major, any major covenant, he sends Elijah to prepare the way. He sends someone to prepare the way. It is like when a king, I see those movies with those old kings. You have somebody that's coming out and saying, hear ye, His Majesty the King. And all of those and all of those pomp and splendor. It's the same thing. Same thing with the Ephraimic priesthood. Ephraim will, as the firstborn tribe, is going to prepare the way for what is coming. Did we go? I said 1-5.
Yes.
Continue.
But who may abide the day of his coming? And who shall stand when he appeareth? For he is like a refiner's fire, and like fuller's soap.
Mm-hmm.
And he shall sit as a refiner and purifier of silver. And he shall purify the sons of Levi.
He shall do what?
Purify the sons of Levi.
So this is why you need the Ephraimic priesthood. To purify the sons of Levi. Remember, the sons of Levi are going to be in captivity. And because they're in captivity, they are going to be messed up. So the Ephraimic priesthood is there to cleanse the Levites and prepare them to enter into Zion, to prepare them to be right before the Most High. He says, who shall abide the day of his coming, and who shall stand when he appeareth? For he is like a refiner's fire and like fuller's soap. So this Ephraimic priesthood, it is something that is not easy. It is something that is going to refine, it's going to burn, cleanse, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Continue.
And purge them as gold and silver, that they may offer unto I am an offering in righteousness.
All right. So he's going to purge them as gold and silver. Gold and silver are purged and cleansed through the fire, that they may offer unto I am who I am an offering in righteousness. So when we speak about the Levitical priesthood and the Levites are going to need cleansing and purging before they enter into the land. It is the job of Ephraim to do this cleansing before the end times. So you get an understanding of how this principle works. The Most High is going to restore us to Zion, but first, Ephraim has to do the cleansing, has to do the purging, has to remove all the dross. And he will do this through the order of the ancients, which is the constitution that he uses. We're going to look at it as well. Continue, verse 4.
Then shall the offering of Yehuda and Jerusalem be pleasant unto I am, as in the days of old, and as in former years.
So you see, without this cleansing by Ephraim, the offering of Judah and Jerusalem cannot be pleasant. It is a necessary component to preparing us to enter into Zion. Then shall the offering of Yehuda and Jerusalem be pleasant unto I am who I am, as in the days of old, as in former years. That is why he does nothing new, because there's no new thing under the sun. They need refining, send Ephraim, send Elijah. Verse 5.
And I will come near to you to judgment, and I will be as a swift witness against the sorcerers, and against the adulterers, and against false swearers, and against those that oppress the hireling in his wages, the widow and the fatherless, and that turn aside the stranger from his right, and fear not me, saith I am who I am of hosts.
All right. So that preparation there by Ephraim. But in the latter days, Elijah will return through one of his own descendants, one of his own seeds. Ephraim returning once again. This comes from the order of the ancients. I don't remember. Yeah, chapter 1, verse 6. But not all of my rights shall rest upon him. It's speaking about Elisha. When Elijah passed the baton, as it were, to Elisha. This is what he's talking about. But not?
Nevertheless, not all of my rights shall rest upon him. For I am hath said, Behold, my servant Elijah shall not die, but shall bear with him the keys of his ministry unto the heavenly city, until the last days, when I shall send him unto one of his seed, whom I shall raise up to bear the fullness of this ministry again among the sons of men.
The fullness of this ministry again among the sons of men. And he has given us this to herald it. I don't know who this Elijah will be, but we have been given the job to herald it, so people know what to expect in the end times when they see this being executed, they know that it was prophesied. All right? Order of the Ancients, chapter 1, verse 6. Now, here is more example again of, no, we did this already. So let's look at the Ephraimic priesthood of the firstborn of I am who I am in the order of the ancients, chapter 1, verse 5. No, not verse 5. Let's not start at 5. Start at verse 1.
The record of Elijah the Tishbite, which he wrote for his disciple Elisha, whom he called from his field in Abel-Malaholah unto the holy order of I am. Behold, I, Elijah, write this record with mine own hand, and no man shall see it, until I have ascended into heaven. Then shall mine authority and the keys of my priesthood, which is the priesthood of the fathers, pass to my son Elisha, but by right of lineage and obedience. This priesthood came down to me from the fathers by lineage, for I am a descendant of Joshua, the son of Nun, who was descended from Ephraim, the son of Joseph, through whom the rights of the firstborn descended in Yasharal.
All right, so you see this order of the ancients. The authority that comes through Elijah is because he got this authority. He says it's a priesthood of the fathers. The priesthood of Ephraim, by right of lineage and obedience. Not only lineage, because you can be of the lineage and you are not obedient, the Most High will not use you. This priesthood came down to me from the fathers by lineage, for I am a descendant of Yahusha, the son of Nun, Joshua, who brought the children of Yashua into the promised land, who was descended from Ephraim, the son of Joseph, through whom the rights of the firstborn descended in Yasharal. So remember we said earlier, the priesthood comes through the firstborn. The rights of the firstborn through Ephraim. Ephraim is my firstborn. Verse 5.
These rights I received when I was but a lad from my father, before he was martyred for the testimony of I am. And according to the word of I am, I have appointed Elisha, who is mine adopted son, to be my successor in bearing off this work.
Notice his father was martyred for the testimony of I am who I am. Remember we said earlier a hallmark of this is of bearing the priesthood is zeal. Zeal. Being willing to die or to do some crazy things to uphold the name and the word and the will of the Most High. So his father was killed, and so he inherited it. Okay? Verse 6.
Nevertheless, not all of my rights shall rest upon him. For I am hath said, Behold, my servant Elijah shall not die, but shall bear with him the keys of his ministry unto the heavenly city, until the last days, when I shall send him unto one of his seed, whom I shall raise up to bear the fullness of this ministry again among the sons of men.
So any of you will be thinking twice about, oh, how can one person go into another person or whatever? Here it is. I shall send him unto one of his seed, whom I shall raise up to bear the fullness of his ministry again among the sons of men. Elijah will return once again. Elijah had returned as John the Baptist. Elijah is going to return again. Verse 7.
But he shall leave with Elisha those keys necessary to continue his work in organizing the schools of the prophets and the order of Hanuk, that the sons of the prophets may continue to live after the holy order of I am.
All right. So, Zion now is built by the unity of one heart and one mind, because the way the Elijah is going to prepare the way for Zion through the execution of the order of the ancients. Zion is built by the unity of one heart and one mind. Order of the Ancients, chapter 2, verses 10 to 11. Verses 10 to 11.
To live after the order of the ancient means that they must live in the community of I am's elect, holding all things common and loving one another as themselves.
So, living in the community of I am's elect, this is the similitude of living in Zion. The similitude of living in Zion, holding all things in unity and loving one another as themselves. This is the way of Zion. That is why we tell you that this order of the ancients is a higher Torah than the Levitical priesthood. The Levitical priesthood, everyone lives in their with their families, and if they make an error, they make a sacrifice. Some people even were rich, and so they could afford the sacrifices. They could just sin and just give the sacrifices. With the order of the ancients, it is a people living in perfect righteousness with one another. This is what is necessary for Zion. If Zion was to be restored with the old order, it will be more of the same old, same old. Everything would repeat. Because the same Jeshurun waxed fat that is in Deuteronomy 32, that would happen again. Because the Most High would lift up our people, and then we would wax fat and grow thick, and then go to other gods and to worship other material things, not the Most High. In order to do this, we have to make sure that Zion now will be built up in perfect order. The Most High gives us the order of the ancients, in which the ticket to enter is no ownership. Everybody comes together in one. Everybody shares what everyone has. No one thinks anything to be their own, but everyone is taken care of. That's the opposite of what the Levitical priesthood actually is. And that's what makes it more perfect, because in that way, people will be above materialism. And so when they come together to live together, there will be a very, very little chance of squabbles about who took this and this is mine and why didn't you give me back and this and that. So the order of the ancients is a higher Torah so that Zion can be built up perfectly. Verse 11.
Yea, they must unite in one heart and one mind. For only thus can Zion be built up in its perfect order, and the name of our I Am be exalted.
Only when we are in one heart and one mind can Zion be built up in its perfect order and the Most High's name exalted. Otherwise, it's going to be arguments, strife, quarrels, envy, anger, jealousy, hatred, malice, grudges, bitterness, slander, backbiting, you name him. All of these things are going to happen if people are not united in one heart and one mind, and that is the task of Elijah to the order of the ancients. Let's look at it in the Bible, though, because you might look at it and say, oh, order of the ancients, what is that? Zion built by the unity of one heart and one mind. Let's look in the Bible. Acts 2:44 to 47. Acts 2. All right, hold on. Let me get your thing on. Acts 2, 44 to 47. Give me a little bit. Coming up. There we go. Yes.
And all that believed were together, and had all things common,
Mm-hmm.
and sold their possessions and goods, and parted them to all men, as every man had need.
Mm-hmm.
And they continued daily with one accord in the temple, and breaking bread from house to house, did eat their meat with gladness and singleness of heart,
Mm-hmm.
praising I am, and having favor with all the people. And I am added to the assembly daily such as should be saved.
There's it in the Bible. This is what happened immediately after they received Ruach HaKadosh. This is what happened because it was a similitude of what is to come. In the end time, this is going to happen again. People together having all things common. This is what the order of the ancients is about. Selling their possessions, parting them to all men as every man had need. Continuing daily with one accord, one mind, one heart. And food is no problem. Breaking bread from house to house, did eat their meat with gladness and singleness of heart, praising I am, and having favor with all the people. And let's go to chapter 4, 32 to 35. Go ahead.
And the multitude of them that believed were of one heart and of one soul.
We're of what?
One heart and of one soul.
And what did we say? That Zion, in chapter 11, chapter 2, verse 11 rather, yea, they must unite in one heart and one mind, for by this Zion will be built up in its perfect order, and the name of our I am who I am will be exalted. Let's go back to the Bible and read it again. And the multitude of them,
And the multitude of them that believed were of one heart and of one soul. Neither said any of them that aught of the things which he possessed was his own, but they had all things common.
I want you to stop there because this is very important. People out there in this world seeking to go to Zion. So many of us, we are liquidating assets and everything, bringing our assets with us, going to places, setting up our own thing, doing our own thing. The true end time people who are going to Zion, they are going to be people who don't do those things, who give up on materialism and are willing to come together with one heart, one mind, one soul with other people. This end time is not about materialism. It's about giving up materialism in order to attain unto perfection. That's what it's about. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. This is what it's about. Because all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is of the world, is not of the Father, but is of the world. Yeah? So, the end times is about giving up. Giving up. So many people are not going to like the end times at all, many of us who are carnal, because this is the way into Zion. This is the only way Zion can be built up. All right? So let's look at prophecies of the watchmen of Ephraim preparing the way before Yahusha are restored. Lest you don't believe me about this priesthood of Ephraim in the end times, let's go to prophecies in Yeshayahu, Isaiah 62, verses 6 to 12. Isaiah 62. Let's see what it says about Ephraim. Hold on, please. When you're ready.
I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. Ye that make mention of I am, keep not silent, and give him no rest till he establish, and till he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth. I am hath sworn by his right hand, and by the arm of his strength. Surely I will no more give thy corn to be meat for thine enemies, and the sons of the strangers shall not drink thy wine, for the which thou hast labored. But they that have gathered it, but they that have gathered it shall eat it, and praise I am, and they that have brought it together shall drink it in the courts of my holiness. Go through the gates, prepare ye the way of the people. Cast up the highway, gather out the stones, lift up a standard for the people.
Now, how do you know this, Ephraim? Go through the gates, prepare ye the way of the people. Ephraim is going to be preparing the way of the people. We're going to show you more. Read 10 again, please.
Go through the gates, prepare ye the way of the people. Cast up the highway, gather out the stones, lift up a standard for the people.
Lift up a standard for the people. Continue.
Behold, the people hath proclaimed unto the end of the world. Say ye to the daughter of Zion, Behold, thy salvation cometh. Behold, his reward is with him, and his work before him. And they shall call them the holy people, the redeemed of I am. And thou shalt be called, sought out, a city not forsaken.
So you hear us speaking again about the bride. Several videos we've done about the bride. Ephraim will be making the way for the bride. Say ye to the daughter of Zion, Behold, thy salvation cometh. So Ephraim will be leading the way even to the daughter of Zion, the bride of Hamashiach. Jeremiah 31, 1-7. Ephraim, my dear son, I have always loved you, and I will take you in my arms again. Jeremiah 31, verse 1.
At the same time, saith I am, will I be I am for all the families of Yasharal, and they shall be my people. Thus saith I am, the people which were left of the sword found grace in the wilderness, even Yasharal, when I went to cause him to rest. I am hath appeared of old unto me, saying, Yea, I have loved thee with an everlasting love. Therefore with loving kindness have I drawn thee.
All right, so we're telling you that the Ephraim is going to lead the way for the bride. Verse 4.
Again I will build thee, and thou shalt be built,
O virgin of Yasharal.
Thou shalt again be adorned with thy tabrets, and shalt go forth in the dances of them that make merry. Thou shalt yet plant vines upon the mountains of Samaria.
Ephraim.
The planters shall plant, and shall eat them as common things.
Verse 6.
For there shall be a day that the watchmen upon the mount Ephraim shall cry, Arise ye, and let us go up to Zion, unto I am who I am.
You see it? It's Ephraim that's going to announce the return to Zion. And notice it says, there shall be a day that the watchmen upon the mount of Ephraim. In the previous thing that we read in Isaiah 62, it says in verse 6, I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem. Those watchmen are Ephraim. Ephraim, the watchmen. Let's go back to Jeremiah 31, 5. Read verses 6 and 7, please.
For there shall be a day that the watchmen upon the mount Ephraim shall cry, Arise ye, and let us go up to Zion, unto I am who I am. For thus saith I am, sing with gladness for Jacob, and shout among the chief of the nations. Publish ye, praise ye, and say, O I am, save thy people, the
The
remnant.
remnant of Yasharal. Remember when Elijah was there, Elijah was saving the remnant of Yasharal. It's the same thing in the end times. Ephraim will be doing the same thing. All right, as we come near the end, let's look at the watchmen of Ephraim in the end times, gathering and restoring the way to righteousness. Let's go from Jeremiah 31, verses 8 to 19. Behold,
Behold, I will bring them from the north country and gather them from the coasts of the earth.
this is the gathering here, people. Notice it said before, it told you before that it's Ephraim. Where is it? Bam, bam, bam. For there shall be a day that the watchmen upon the Mount Ephraim shall cry, Arise ye, and let us go up to Mount Zion, unto I am who I am, or I am. In the end times, Ephraim will be used at the time of our gathering, which is around this time, in order to lead and refine our people into the righteousness that the Most High requires for them to go into Zion. Verse 8.
Behold, I will bring them from the north country and gather them from the coasts of the earth, and with them the blind and the lame, the woman with child, and her that travaileth with child together. A great company shall return thither. They shall come with weeping, and with supplication will I lead them. I will cause them to walk by the rivers of waters in a straight way, wherein they shall not stumble. For I am a father to Yasharal, and Ephraim is my firstborn.
Yeah, he put in the Ephraim again. You see, Ephraim is going to be so instrumental. He doesn't speak about any other tribe there. One tribe, Ephraim. And this is why Judah will not vex Ephraim and Ephraim will not vex Judah, because the northern kingdom that has been cast off for such a long time ago will now be and receive prominence in the end time, as they will be instrumental in gathering back their people. Several of those northern tribes will be instrumental in the end times. All right? The traditional tribes will not be the overpowering ones, because you always hear about the tribes of Judah and Levi and Benjamin. Yes, they will play a big part, but the northern kingdom are now, being dead, have now been risen up to be on par with them. And that is why you're going to have unity among the whole 12 tribes, everybody playing their part. Continue.
Hear the word of I am, O ye nations, and declare it in the isles afar off, and say, He that scattered Israel will gather him, and keep him, as a shepherd doth his flock. For I am hath redeemed Jacob, and ransomed him from the hand of him that was stronger than he. Therefore they shall come and sing in the heights of Zion, and shall flow together to the goodness of I am, for wheat and for wine, and for oil, and for the young of the flock and of the herd. And their soul shall be as a watered garden, and they shall not sorrow any more at all. They shall,
Then,
then shall the virgin rejoice in the dance,
all right.
both young men and old together. For I will turn their mourning into joy, and will comfort them, and make them rejoice from their sorrow.
So before this can happen, the people have to be purified. The people have to be cleansed, because the Most High is not bringing any dirty vessel into his kingdom. All right? Continue.
And I will satiate the soul of the priests with fatness, and my people shall be satisfied with my goodness, saith I am. Thus saith I am, a voice was heard in Ramah, lamentation and bitter weeping, Rahel weeping for her children, refused to be comforted for her children, because they were not.
Who was Rachel? Rachel, or Rachel. That's the mother of Joseph and Benjamin, the grandmother of Ephraim and Manasseh. Continue.
Thus saith I am, refrain thy voice from weeping, and thine eyes from tears, for thy work shall be rewarded, saith I am, and they shall come again from the land of the enemy. And there is hope in thine end, saith I am, that thy children shall come again to
Their own border.
I have surely heard Ephraim bemoaning himself thus. Thou hast chastised me, and I was chastised, as a bullock unaccustomed to the yoke. Turn thou me, and I shall be turned, for thou art, I am who I am. Surely after that I was turned, I repented, and after that I was instructed. I smote upon my thigh, I was ashamed, yea, even confounded, because I did bear the reproach of my youth.
All right, hold on now. You have another heading here that I need to highlight. All right. So, in the end, Ephraim will be preparing the way for the bride, as we said, and we know we thought about the bride in the end time and her gathering the nation. Ephraim will be preparing the way for the bride, Jeremiah 31, 20 to 28, and this is where we conclude. Continue.
Is Ephraim my dear son? Is he a pleasant child? For since I spake against him, I do earnestly remember him still. Therefore my bowels are troubled for him. I will surely have mercy upon him, saith I am. Set thee up waymarks, and make thee high heaps. Set thine heart towards the highway, even the way which thou wentest.
Turn again,
O virgin of Yasharal, turn again to these thy cities. How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For I am hath created a new thing in the earth.
a woman shall compass a man. This is the end time preparation, where Ephraim will be preparing the bride. This is the bride, the woman that shall compass a man. And Ephraim is right there and will be doing the preparation. And will be preparing even the Levites. Everyone will be cleansed by the fuller's fire and the soap. I don't remember what kind of soap they call it. But the fire and the soap, the cleansing through Ephraim. Verse 23.
Thus saith I am of hosts, the I am of Yasharal. As yet they shall use the speech in the land of Yehuda, and in the cities thereof. When I...
There?
The audio just went bad again. It's like scratching.
Oh, I don't know. Go ahead.
Thus saith I am of hosts, the I am of Yasharal. As yet they shall use the speech in the land of Yehuda, and in the cities thereof, when I shall bring again their captivity. I
Still
am,
hear it?
No, he said it's good now. No, not yet.
I am Barakti, O habitation of justice, and mountain of holiness. And there shall dwell in Yehuda itself, and in all the cities thereof together, husbandmen, and they that go forth with flocks. For I have satiated the weary soul, and I have replenished every sorrowful soul.
All right, so we're just giving this part here because this is the good news that we want to hear. So often we hear about, some serious things, but this now is the good news that we will face in the end. The good news when we walk in the Most High's righteousness. The good news. Continue.
Upon this I awaked and beheld, and my sleep was sweet unto me. Behold, the days come, saith I am, that I will sow the house of Yeshurun and the house of Yehuda with the seed of man, and with the seed of beast. And it shall come to pass, that like as I have watched over them, to pluck up and to break down, and to throw down and to destroy, and to afflict, so will I watch over them to build and to plant, saith I am.
All right. So will I watch over them to build and to plant. And so we presented some things today from the Order of the Ancients. The Order of the Ancients is a book that was supposed to be handed down from Elijah to Elisha. Through the ages it has come to us. And that book tells us how we as a nation should dwell together. And it is kind of a constitution of believers living together in one accord, one heart, one mind, one soul, the same similitude of life in Zion. Life in Zion is not for selfish people. It is not for this self. It is not for those who are just looking out for their own selves, but people who love their neighbors as themselves, people who care, people who share, people who love, people who forgive, people who are kind, gentle, good, every single positive virtue. And so the Most High gives us the similitude through the order of the ancients. All right? So this teaching today, the priesthood of Ephraim, the higher Torah on which Zion will be built. Can you, or do you want to live this higher Torah? Can you ever make this not about yourself? Can it ever be not about me? Can it be about we and not about me? Can I put myself aside for the sake of everyone else? Zion will be built up in unselfishness. All right? And this is the order of the ancients. The order. And let me just say that this is why people who set up camps or are setting up, you'll have people nowadays, you'll hear people asking, okay, where do we go? And here somebody says, oh, there's somebody that is setting up a community over here or over there. You see, if that community is not run by the order of the ancients, Hasatan is going to tear it apart. I'm going to tell you that. Hasatan is going to rip it apart. Because if it is not run in truth, in love, in perfection of virtues, in order, then the enemy is going to have his way and he's going to rip it apart. That is why so many people have come together, different things, and there will be nothing but trouble. Nothing but trouble. Especially if you have people from different walks of life, different cultures, different countries, etc. It's going to be trouble unless it is run by the Constitution, the order of the ancients. Okay? And yeah, I guess that's what I have to say. All praises to the Most High. Do you have anything, Ataka?
All praises. I don't think so, Alden.
All right. Let me see if there's any questions. Looking for questions. What about Moses and Joseph marrying a Gentile? We have a video on Moses marrying an Egyptian. It is on our Just a Word website, where we give the understanding of that, because we believe in people searching. We do not believe in I am more and more, I go every day, I am less inclined to just be answering questions. People ask questions like an interview. Okay, what about such and such? Nope. And then I give an answer. What about such and such? Boop, and you give an answer. That does people nothing because it ends up just being knowledge. No change. The Most High says, you shall seek me and find me when you shall search for me with all your heart. Nobody now wants to search because everybody has been conditioned. Not saying that this is you, the person who answered it, by the way. I'm just saying how I will approach questions, answering questions. And people just asking the questions and expect an answer. And the person who asked the question, I had been prepared to say this even before today. So it has nothing really directly to do with what you said. It's not speaking about you. So when you answer the question, the person has not sought. The person just gets answer. And the person just sits and keeps getting answer. What about that fight, that search of seeking and not knowing? It is good for us not to know sometimes. Because when we do not know, then we have something to seek and we have something to meditate on. And you're like, that means... But when somebody just gives you everything, you just recite the answer. When somebody asks, okay, oh, such and such, and the word does not change our minds and our lives. So even if I have a video, I will tell you I have the video. I will not even there be expounding on it. Where Joseph is concerned, I don't think we had any video addressing this with Joseph. So let me address it. With Joseph, Joseph was the only one there. But there's also another aspect to it, and that we found that in the writings of Abraham, that tells us that a lot of the people in Egypt were actually descendants of Abraham who went there. I forget when it says they went there. And a lot of the Egyptians were actually mixed with our people. So the chances are that they were mixed with our people. And that time when Joseph was there, the Torah was not yet given, was it? It was not yet given. And so it was okay to marry people like the descendants from Abraham or whatever. And even with the people who are Hamites, before the Torah, it was even okay, not suggested, but okay. The problem there was with the Canaanites. The Canaanites was the real problem as far as I remember. But yeah, with Joseph, an Egyptian, could have been an Israelite. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to also put that, since we're also speaking of priesthood, because that's why if you think of it, Joseph married a high priestess.
Yes.
So there's some correlation, because some people, it also goes back to the garments of Adam and Eve, that the garments of Eve fell among the heathens. So the Most High was actually bringing back the bloodline and of the from the heathen to Israel, which is why in the end he says a Canaanite will no more be found in the house of I am. So this is necessary because he's bringing back the bloodline through from the heathen nations back to Israel and purifying it with Yasharal.
Okay. And in the end it will be purged. Canaanites will be purged out. All right. All praises. So that was that. But the one with Moses, we have a video on it. Moses marrying an Egyptian. I will try to remember to put it in. Michael, can you find it and put it in the link?
Well, I did, but then I took it off because you just wanted people to look.
Oh.
I can put it back.
Yeah, but they will have to look through the video anyway.
Okay,
So
it's the one Moses with the Ethiopian woman?
yes.
Okay.
Regarding not... You're saying something?
It's there.
Okay. All right, so it's in the chat here, the link to the one about Moses. Regarding not being allowed to enter Zion in a mixed marriage, how does this apply to those of faith in Yahusha who are the children of a mixed marriage? Will they not be allowed to enter in? I do not know. What I can say is that anyone who is of faith in Yahusha, never, ever, ever, ever give up All right? Never ever, the power in the blood of Hamashiach Yahusha, never ever give up. I do not know what will happen. I can just tell you what has been given to me. But as to those finer details, what I can say is that in the time when this happened with Ezra, they gave up their mixed children. But now, with Yahusha HaMashiach, I do not know how that goes. All right? I cannot speak definitively. All right? Ruth and Boaz as well. Somebody says Ruth and Boaz. All right, Sister Holder. Ruth and Boaz. Let's go to the book of God this year. Go to the book of God this year. We'll look at Ruth and Boaz. Page, can you find the Moabite verse, page 13? Page 13. All right, let me get it on the screen, please. Can you read it, please?
All of it, Alden? From the beginning?
When the feast of Passover came on the feast.
When the feast of Passover came on the 15th of the first month, a Moabite shepherd came to Dawood and asked him and talked with him, saying, My Adonai, the king, you have known that I, your servant, have been loyal to Yasharal from my youth. And now take me away from dwelling among uncircumcised people, and circumcise my flesh, and circumcise the flesh of my foreskin, to take away my reproach, so that I can sit among your people. And Dawood said, My master does not, Adonai does not want your people. And he commanded, An Moabite or an Ammonite or a Moabite shall not enter into the assembly of I am forever.
All right, so this is a Moabite who wants to join himself with Yasharal. And David told him that. And then he's going to say, what about Ruth and Boaz? The same thing that you said. Continue.
And we cannot seek your peace nor your prosperity. But how can I help you today? The servant answered, Is it not it true that Ruth was of our people, and you are one of her children and descendants, and I am has chosen you and your descendants forever? Then he said, You have given a convincing argument. Stand here with me to ask from the mouth of I am. And David asked I am about the statement of the Moabite servant. And Dawood said, I am of hosts. Teach me wondrous things out of your law, so that I may know how to rule for this servant, and what should be done with him. And I am said to Nathan the prophet, Go to David my servant, and tell him the message that I tell you. And Nathan went to David to his chambers, saying, This is what I am of hosts says. I have heard your prayer. So tell the Moabites, You are a Moabite man, not a Moabite woman. For I never said a Moabite woman, an Ammonite woman, because their women and daughters belong to I am. However, you are cursed by I am, and forbidden to enter I am's assembly.
All right, I'll read this verse 9 now. Read verse 9.
When the Moabite heard the message of I am, he cried out and exclaimed, I am forbidden from entering the assembly of I am. And the king took him and appointed him a shepherd among David's shepherds. And he was there until the 3rd year of the reign of King Solomon. Then he died.
All right, so the Moabite women are for the Most High. Because they, and the Ammonites, they are for the Most High because they are the children of Lot. So when you say the Moabite, we have to understand that these are for the Most High. And the Most High honors these people differently from those from other nations. Yet still, there are times when he tells you that we must have nothing to do with them. Because in the time of Ezra, Moabites and Ammonites were among the children who they married. You understand? So it is very, very funny. All right. Trying to get this wider so I can see. All right. My understanding is that these are the types of there was no one else to marry. That's why um all right, I'm trying to see if there are any other questions. Oh, why is this going here? Shalom to Trinidad, from Trinidad. Great lesson today. Moses' wife was a Midianite, which is a descendant of Abraham. All right.
Alden?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think also with the Moses one is also similar to Joseph because she's the daughter of a high priest. So it's almost like always the Most High ties them with priestesses. Like even because Joseph's wife was the daughter of a high
Yes.
priest, and she's also the daughter of a high priest.
Yes. No coincidence there.
Yes.
And both of them that you're asking, as Etikana said, they are daughters of high priests. So, and notice the Most High, the Most High is not about religion. Because when Jethro, the high priest, came and he gave Moses the advice, it was sound, solid advice. And Moses never said, "Oh, can you come and speak to me and you're a priest of Midian?"
Yes.
You see? So that is why I tell people today that I'm not into religion at all. I'm not going to totally obliterate. I used to do it, but cannot going to totally obliterate people now because of the religion that they're in. Learning and growing, we find out that there is truth everywhere. And the Most High works through people everywhere, even when they are in error. All right? He worked through us when we are in error. And who knows, we still might be in error because we are still learning. But still, he works through us. So he also works through others. All right? All right. All right. Someone is asking, can you share one of your daughter of Zion dream? You can go to Jaw Prophecy, our website, our YouTube channel, JAW Prophecy, and that is where you'll find all of our prophetic dreams, all of our prophetic dreams and teachings, okay? Is the Order of the Ancients on the website? No, it's not on the website. We don't put it there because don't cast your pearl to the swine. Certain of the books there, I believe that they are so precious. Don't just throw them out there so that everybody have them. No. They have to find them elsewhere, let them find them, but not through us. All right? All right? So we have the Jaw Prophecy link there. So thank you. Okay? Thank you for being with us. Only hope that this was edifying to you. The priesthood of Ephraim, something people don't understand. We put it on the website, and a person there was just throwing down verses as to Levi, Levitical priesthood, not understanding. These are end times. This is the everlasting gospel, a gospel of revelation. If you notice, almost every week, the Most High is giving us revelation after revelation. Different things, new things, not the same thing over and over again. New insights each and every week as to what is happening and coming in the end times. People, it's time we wake up and open our eyes to truth and stop precept upon precept, precept upon precept. That time is over. It's time for precept upon precept, plus the mysteries of the kingdom, plus revelations of the mysteries of the kingdom. Without the mysteries of the kingdom, your precept upon precept is going to fall short. All right? It's going to fall short. You are not going to understand things like these. All right? Thank you. Thank you. All praises to the Most High, the great I am who I am, the great Father of all creation, the first mystery and the last, the great high power, the invisible one, the unbegotten one, the one who begets all, the one who is above all, through all, and in you all, the one who has all power over the heavens and the earth, and through his generosity, he gave all this power to his Son, who sits at his right hand, our great high priest, making intercessions for us. All praises to the Most High. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Oh, Gerald Jr. Katsoka, you're from Zimbabwe. All right. All praises to the Most High. Please continue to share our things. And if you have anyone for us to speak with, any way to reach your people in Zimbabwe, please let us know. All right? But please do share it and continue to share just a word. Remember our website. That's the final thing you should share, Mikhail. Our website, justaword.org. JUSTAWORD.org. That is the home of the everlasting gospel. Please, if you want understanding, please go there. It is laid out so that you can get all the understanding you need of this end-time everlasting gospel. All praises to the Most High. All praises to his name. Giving thanks and praise. And I sign off by saying, Shalom, Shalom.